is ASMR, and today I'm finally getting round to talking about my Five Nights at Freddy's theories. So, if you are not a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, you can just tune me out, just take this as an audible whispering, I suppose, treat it the same. If you are a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, hi, it's tough out here. Okay, so no further comments, I'm just going to get straight into the video. Okay, so, first of all, if you are a FNAF fan, have you guys seen the news that there is an official release date for the second movie, as well as an official tagline? I'll be real with you, I'm scared about both. Okay, this video is gonna be a bit soft-spoken and a bit whispered, purely because rambling is difficult to do when you're whispering. It's a bit harder to do. You would know it on my channel because I never shut up, but it is. Okay, so I have a whole list of theories that I'm gonna talk about today, and I've left it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 theories about Freddys. So it's a short amount, it's an easy number, and I can go into more depth about each theory that I have, so that should be fine. I also have a drink to drink. It's a carbonated beverage. That's a pretty good name. Good word. Beverage. So, I will be drinking that if I need to. Okay, right, let's get started. So, most of these theories are going to be about the FNAF, well, all of these theories are going to be about the FNAF movie, purely because that's what I feel like doing. I recently rewatched it and I've got a lot to say. I'm probably going to ramble about them, but I'll try and stick to about 5 minutes for each theory. So it will hopefully not surpass that amount of time, otherwise it will be too long. I haven't had dinner, I'm hungry, I've got things to do. If you guys haven't noticed yet, I cannot deal with order. I'm finding it very difficult to stick to schedules and such. But, so I've just set it up here. I've put all of the points I want to make, and I'm hoping that it will retain me a little bit, so that I'm not just going on about random shit again, because that's what I always do. If you like me rambling about random shit, I have a rambling playlist, which you can go to on my page. Okay, let's get started. So, theory number 1. Okay, it could be controversial, or it could be like, you're either going to be like, I don't agree, or you're going to be like, obviously. I think that Mike Schmidt in the FNAF movie is still going to be revealed as Mike Afton. If you don't know, in the games, you play as a character called Mike Schmidt, who is revealed to be Michael Afton, the son of the man behind the slaughter, or Purple Guy. So basically, in the movie, instead of it being Mike, who is Afton's son, they have Vanessa being Afton's daughter. And a lot of people were disappointed by that, but I would like to remind you that this is only the first movie, and they have planned 3, so FNAF has never just given us the lore, we've had to find it, right? We've had to wait for confirmation. So, I still think Mike is going to be Mike Afton. I think they're going to reveal it in the next movie, or maybe even the final movie in a Luke Skywalker moment. my reasons, okay? Hear me out. I know that the films are their own entity, but there are too many similarities to the games for it to be a coincidence. Oh my god. Do you remember that guy who was like, there is no such a thing as a coincidence? That's what I sound like right now. Anyway. Okay, it's a chill video. It's just two friends rambling about FNAF. The first reason that I think that Mike is still going to be my captain is Steve Raglan's reaction to Mike's name. So, in the movie, Steve Raglan, who is a careers counsellor, he talks to Mike Schmidt about his options after he beats the shit out of some guy because he thought that he kidnapped a kid. He's very unstable in the games and the movies, just don't worry about it. Okay, so, a lot of people have taken it as... The thing is, I know that I think differently, because a lot of people have taken the movie as gospel, they've taken it very literally, and I like to look between the lines and read into everything that I consume. So, I don't know. So, Steve Raglan basically is just like Michael Schmidt, and like reacts really weirdly to it, right? And they don't explain why in the movie, but it's kind of hinted that the reason that he reacts to him like that is because it's like, oh weird, you have the same last name as your brother who I murdered. Am I allowed to say that in a YouTube video? I feel like I need to get more careful. I don't know. I don't want my channel to be taken off me. Okay, anyway. But I think, literally I remember when I first sat down to watch the movie, I sat down, I was sitting next to my partner, and I immediately whispered to him. I was just like, oh, he's reacting like that because he knows it's his son. And when they revealed that Vanessa was his child instead, I was like, no. I don't think so. So I still believe that he was reacting to him like that because he'd been searching for his son, who left the family home for whatever reason and changed his name. Possibly because his mother left with the kids and got them to change their name as a family to avoid detection. But that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. So I still think that he was just like, oh my god, I've been looking for you for years, and I finally found you, and you've got a different name, and you look different. Because he kind of like, he peers at him, like he's just like that. And a lot of people think, they assume that he peers at him like that because he's trying to like see if he looks like his brother. But I don't agree. I think he's looking at him like that because the last time he saw him was when he was a child. Okay, so that's reason number one. Remember what I said about a 5-minute gap? That was gap. Okay. My second thing is the "that's two jobs" joke. So, there are two characters who say that joke, Mike and Vanessa, and both times they're saying it to William Afton or Steve Raglan. So the first time, Mike is in he's in Steve Raglan's office, and Steve tells him like, oh, there's only one job, you just gotta keep outsiders out, and then it's like, oh, and like keep the place tidy, and Mike just goes, that's two jobs, and it shows William's reaction, and it's just like, and it's like he's got like this pained expression where it's like, I wanna kill this guy. And it's that. So in film, obviously, you have, oh my god, what is it called? Motifs. And I'm not a film student, but I did study literature. Hang on, I got a cough. And in literature, there are motifs, so if you show something twice, it's for a reason. You're trying to show something. So, the fact that it's then said again by Vanessa, who's just like, because basically William is like, you only had one job, and she's like, that's two jobs, Dad. So he's obviously got this anger. But that joke that they both make, there's a reason that they both make it, and there's a reason why he reacts so badly. And I think the reason is they grew up together, and it was an inside joke where they would say it because they knew it would piss their dad off, basically. And that's why he reacts so badly to it. I know that's not much to go off of, but I do think that that is really important that they both say that. I know that it's become like a joke now, but I actually think it's telling us something, and I think the something is that they are both related to Afton. Okay, the third reason why I think Mike is still Mike Afton is that he's really similar to Mike in-game, down to the guilt that Michael Afton feels. His whole character is driven by guilt about his brother and his brother's death. Mike in the movie has the exact same, only it's not about his brother's death, it's about his disappearance. Well, it's not about his death, as we know, but we'll get to that in a minute. So there's that. There's also the relationship with his little sister, which Mike has in the games with Elizabeth. There's also he's also got the same sense of humour. If you've read the security guard's handbook, Mike has the exact same sense of humour. They got Mike perfect in the movie, but they got him perfect as Michael Afton, not as a random guy. Okay, the fourth reason is it just makes no sense to set up a character who is almost exactly the same as the character in the games, and then just make it like, just be like, just kidding, it's actually this random lady and this guy is just a random guy. Like, why though? What purpose does it serve having Mike be some random guy? It doesn't. It's not real. That motherfucker back there is not real. Okay, and the fifth and final reason that I think Michael Schmidt is Mike Afton is the family. When they show Michael's like flashbacks and family, the family are not, they're very distant, right? And so as the film progresses, you can go and watch it and see for yourself. The first flashback we see, Mike's dad has a line of dialogue. He actually says something to Mike. But as the more involved he is with Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and with Steve Raglan, who I think is his dad, the less prominent the dad is in the flashbacks, to the point where he doesn't say anything. He is barely there, and in some parts you can't even see him, like he's not even slightly central to the flashbacks. I think that's on purpose. I 100% think that that's on purpose. I think they're trying to distract you from the real dad. And I've seen a lot of people who have theorized that Mike's dad is actually Henry Emily, but I disagree. And I think that that theory has been debunked pretty much now, because there was a leak that they're casting for a main male role, and an insider has said it's most likely Henry Emily. So why would they recast him if that was Henry in the flashbacks? They wouldn't. I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm right, and I know I am. Okay, I've rambled on about that one enough. Again, 5-minute cap, don't. Okay, let's move on to the next theory. So the next theory is slightly related. They're all kind of related to each other. So if you're worried about me going on about Michael being an Afton and all that, sorry. This is the video. Okay. Let me just take a drink. Okay. Right. Theory number 2. Illusion discs are warping Mike's memory. So, I think they've already shown us illusion discs in the first movie. Hear me out. So, whenever Mike has his like flashback dreams, there is always a focus on sound. So, first of all, I'm just looking at my notes. The speakers are always making a noise during his dreams, like it's static noise. And a couple of times when it makes the static, you can hear children's voices. And of course, it's probably the children in the pizzeria who are haunting the animatronics. But there is a chance that it could be Garrett. But we'll get to that later. So, the speakers are always really loud during dreams, the dream sequences. And the dreams themselves focus on noise. Go back and watch the dream sequences, I promise you, there is such a focus on noise. Whether it be a Coke bottle tipping over and the Coke spilling out, or the ketchup being put on a burger, or things dropping, or like a ball being kicked up and down, or Garrett making noises for his plane as he goes around playing. There's always a focus on noise, and it's only when the noise stops that the ghost children appear. And I think that's on purpose, because when Mike hears noise and when it focuses on noise, it is supposed to tell us that this is not real, it's an illusion from the illusion discs. And then when the kids show up, it means the illusion is over. The kids are really there, really talking to him in his dream. Mike also always has to use an audio device or something linked to audio in order to access the dreams. So he puts on the birdsong music, like on the CD player. First of all, the CD player is really old-fashioned, even for when the movie is set, which says to me it was given to him a long time ago, or he's just had it for a really long time. So it is possible that either William or Henry or anybody else gave Mike the CD player with illusion discs in it already to trick his memory. That's my cat, I'm sorry. Anyway, to trick his memory. This could be for several reasons. So, the first reason I think is the most obvious, which is that whoever gave him the illusion discs wants him to forget how bad his family was, especially his dad. So if his dad is William Afton, whoever gave him the illusion disc wanted him to forget William. It could be Henry trying to do something good for the family, or being involved with the family, or it could still be William himself. If Mike knew the stuff William was up to, William wouldn't want him to remember that. It could be that, like in the games, Mike was a really angry and resentful teen. What if he was like, I will seek revenge for this? You'd want to avoid it, right? Right. So I definitely think that that is one of the reasons that I think it's been given to him. I'll get to what I was about to say later. Okay, and yeah. I think as well, the fact that he has to use the headphones and he has to listen to the recording in order to have the vision, I understand that the whole thing is part of dream theory, but I do think it's linked to illusion discs. I know that it is. I think in the next movie, I think that a character is going to show him that it's an illusion disc. They're going to turn over the disc or something and it's going to have Afton robotics on it, just like in the books. Oh, I should have prefaced this by saying some of these theories are linked to the books, because the books do have, they kind of go hand in hand with the movies for the movies. There's a lot of references to the books in the movies. I don't like the books. The actual trilogy, can't stand it, would never read it again, but I did read the whole thing, and I'm still getting through Fazbear Frights at the moment. Fazbear Frights, way better. I think that short stories is the right way to go for this series, and also some of the writers like Andrea Wagner, amazing, really good ideas. Okay, so that's my second theory, that illusion discs exist in this universe and they are warping Mike's memory, and you fell for it. We all did, it's okay. How are you doing? What do you think of my theories so far? If you like FNAF, I hope that you agree, or even if you disagree, let me know why. And if you don't like FNAF, I hope you're already halfway to Dreamland, and I hope that this is still relaxing, hearing me go on and on about Five Nights at Freddy's. This might be my most autistic video yet. Anyway, the next theory is straight out of a MatPat video, and I apologize in advance, but just bear with me, okay? I promise there's reasons. Vanessa is a robot. So this is obviously away from the theory that Mike and Vanessa grew up together. Kind of. They could still have known each other. They could still have been raised together, just not in the same way. So I think Vanessa is a robot, and she's not Afton's daughter, but his creation. Again, you're gonna have to hear me out, and I am gonna talk about the books again. So, first of all, Elizabeth Lale is a really good actress, right? She's really good. She knows what she's doing. But Vanessa in the movie is really robotic. Like, whenever she's not angry, she's just kind of like, and this is how it is done. Here I am at Freddys, you know. And I just feel like there's something off about that. As well as that, this is going to sound really stupid now, but the way that they dress her and do her hair and makeup, it's too perfect. Like, there's no character in the way she dresses, or the way she does her hair, or the way she does her makeup. There's no, like, it's either bad costume design, or it's on purpose. And because the costume design for all the other characters is so good, especially like Mike, I'm veering more on the side of it's deliberate. She's meant to look plain and like a blank slate almost. So yeah, that's the first reason. The second reason is book related. She is really similar to Eleanor in both the main trilogy and the Fazbear Frights, but mostly the main trilogy. So, if you don't know anything about the books, Eleanor is basically Circus Baby, but an adult, I guess. It's a really stupid idea. I'm so sorry, Scott, but that was not it. But it exists, and we have to know, I guess. In the books, in the main trilogy, Eleanor is first introduced when Charlie, the main character, she dies, okay? She dies. And then she turns up again, alive, but like taller. She's literally described as like more beautiful and like, wow, like she's like got bigger curves now, and it's like, oh my god, this is a child. But that's how she's described, okay? Okay. So she's supposed to be like Charlie, but slimmer, taller, more attractive, basically. And immediately one of the other characters, John, is like, you're not Charlie, because Charlie's ugly, I guess. Anyway, and it's basically, her expression shifts in the books. So when she's acting as Charlie, she's smiley and happy and everything, but there's like something really off about her expressions. So she'll be there like smiling happily, and then just suddenly like something will cross over her face, where she'll just be like a flash of anger or like annoyance or something that's like inhuman. And in the novelization for the FNAF movie, they describe Vanessa in a really similar way, especially with her eyes. So in the novelization, her eyes change colour. In the books, Eleanor's or Charlie's eyes change colour and they shift, and John is like, who the fuck is this girl? I'm freaking out. So yeah, I think it's really interesting that that is a link between them, and I think it also links to her looking to put together. It's almost like it's an illusion. She also makes a comment to Mike that is really weird in the movie. Vanessa, I mean, not Eleanor. And that is, he's like, what did he do to you and stuff? And she says to him, I'll be of no use to you. I can't do anything, basically. There's nothing she can do. She's under Afton's control. And the way she words it is really weird. It's not like she's saying, like, no, he's my dad, I could never hurt him, or like, you know, like, this is too traumatic for me, I'm really sorry, but you're on your own, I can't stand up to him. She's like, no, I am of no use to you, I am under his control. And it's like, even the way she says it is really robotic. But also, all of the other kids, the animatronics, she literally says to Mike, they're all under his control. And she says they don't remember what he did to them, but he controls them. And he controls them through the loudspeakers, which again is another piece of evidence for illusion discs. The fact that they are also controlled through noise, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I just think it's a very weird way to put it, when you're like, no, he's my dad, I can't do anything about that. It's almost like, it's not that he's her dad, it's almost like, no, like he has actual control. The final piece of evidence for this crazy crackpot theory is that when William stabs Vanessa, first of all, it's a really weird sequence. It doesn't look like he's stabbing her, but like she's stabbing herself. Second of all, William already shows he does not care about Vanessa. She's his daughter, but he doesn't care about her at all. Right? So, like, he doesn't give a shit about Vanessa. But, like, he stabs her, if it is him who does it, he stabs her in a non-fatal area. This man, you're telling me, this man who has spent decades murdering children and hiding the bodies, a bad man, a clever man, as Vanessa says, doesn't even know where to stab to kill someone. No fucking way. So I think either it's bad writing, which, you know, is a very real idea, or two, it's on purpose. She's stabbed in a non-fatal place because the whole thing is a fake out where she's like, no dad, I'm against you now, even though I just said I can't fight against you. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill you, Vanessa, and then doesn't. There's just something about it that screams, I need you to be on my side so that Mike trusts you, so that I know what he's doing. So we've got to fake that I've actually hurt you. And that is my biggest crackpot theory. I don't know, guys. Do you think I'm crazy for thinking that? I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just, I don't know. Any small thing in FNAF can mean something. I feel like I am basically the new Mad Bat. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I could never be him. My pronouns. No, don't make that joke. Okay, the next theory is actually more likely, I think, to be real. And that is that Garrett is there in the pizzeria, but he's not haunting the puppet or anyone like that. I don't think that Garrett is this movie universe's version of Charlie. I don't think that that's true. I think Garrett is haunting, he's co-haunting Golden Freddy. So, obviously in the games, there are two spirits in Golden Freddy. Neither of them have like a canon name, but they're known as Evan and Cassidy. The blonde kid, the leader kid in the movie, is not named, but it's pretty obvious that he is Cassidy. And yes, Cassidy is a gender neutral name. And no, Cassidy has never think he is probably Cassidy. But I think there's lots of evidence to suggest that Garrett is already in Golden Freddy with Cassidy. In the games, Cassidy, or the other child, the one you should not have killed, is the stronger spirit, which is why they have more control. In the books, in Fazbear Frights, they kind of explore this a little bit more with the characters Jake and Andrew. So Jake is a nice kid. He's a good kid who has died because of tragedy. Well, they've all died because of tragedy, but it's different, trust me. Oh my god. If you want to know more about Jake, read The Real Jake, which is the story. It's a short story about him, but I will warn you, it is really sad. But they both, Jake and Andrew, haunt a Stitch Wraith, which is like a big put together animatronic, basically. And Jake can see, but Andrew can't, and Andrew moves it, and Andrew is the spirit of vengeance. Andrew is basically the book's version of Cassidy. So they go into it a bit more, where one of them is always in control more than the other one. They're always there together, but one of them has to be the stronger spirit to use the Stitch Wraith for what they want to do. I think that it is going to be the same in the movies. I think that Garrett and Cassidy are both haunting the Fredbear animatronic. I think this because, unlike all of the other animatronics, Golden Freddy only has one glowing eye. I think that this is on purpose. I think that it's got one glowing eye because one spirit is active. I think there are two spirits, and I think in the next movie, or maybe the next one after that, we will see both eyes light up, which insinuates that both spirits are active. As well as that, obviously when Mike first hears all the stuff going on, the ghost kids are first like haunting him in the security office, there's writing on the wall that says "It's me," which is a reference that made everybody go, "Oh my god," the first time we saw it. But "It's me" is referring, I think, in my opinion, to Garrett. I think Garrett is sending that message to Mike to be like, I'm here, right in front of you. Another piece of evidence for Garrett being in Golden Freddy with Cassidy is that at the very end, the end of all of the credits, it has a robotic voice spelling out sentences, and it says, "Come find me." A lot of people thought that this was a reference to the puppet, which it could be. Like, don't get me wrong, it could be the puppet. I don't fully believe either way. Like, it could be the puppet, it could be this idea. Either way, it will probably be really entertaining. I actually think it's because Cassidy, at the end, goes missing. So, all the spirits take down Springtrap, except Cassidy. Cassidy is watching Springtrap die, basically, and keeping him in a state of death and life, basically. But nobody mentions Cassidy again from this point on. He just vanishes. He vanishes. No one knows where he is. And I think it's more Garrett being like, he's taken Golden Freddy to a different, undisclosed location where Springtrap is rotting. You need to come find me so you can stop everything. And that's my other theory. Okay, I promise we're getting through it, alright? There's only one more theory that I've got. One more theory. This theory has been going around since before the movie even came out, and that is that Abby is Elizabeth Afton and will be Circus Baby. Now, when I first watched the movie, I noticed a lot of similarities between Abby and Charlie in the books. And at first, when I was first thinking of this which is that. So, in the main trilogy, Charlie and Elizabeth, how do I explain this? They come from the same agony. So, Elizabeth is William's daughter. She's the only canon child in the trilogy of William. And Charlie is, of course, Henry's daughter. Not the only canon child, but who cares about Sammy? Okay, so they both have their daughters, but the reveal in the last book, is that Eleanor, who I told you about earlier, linked to Vanessa, I think, is also linked to Charlie. So, Eleanor, the animatronic, or circus baby, as she's otherwise known, is technically created by Henry. So Henry makes the base and then gives up because his daughter dies. And his daughter has a doll called Ella that Henry sobs into, screams into, and basically he infuses it with his agony of his grief. And because he does that, it then means that he can put the doll in the Charlie Bot animatronic to make it Charlie again. But, I mean, like, come on, dude. Get therapy. Sorry, I had to pause because my dad walked by playing Doctor Who on his phone. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so the Ella doll is in the Charlie Bot, okay? But basically, Eleanor feels this bitterness towards Charlie because she's like, he was my creator, and it's his fault and your fault that I am so depressed, I guess. So, Eleanor, or Circus Baby, obviously takes Elizabeth into her. The animatronic that was Circus Baby goes to William Afton, who then finishes the work and basically infuses it with his daughter. Not on purpose, though, I will add. He doesn't like his daughter. I've watched so many American ASMR artists that every time I say daughter, I want to say daughter. That's not how you say it in British English. Sorry. Anyway. So basically, I think that it's linked. I think that Abby is going to be Elizabeth, and I think that Vanessa's relationship with Abby is going to crumble, because I think that Vanessa is this universe's Eleanor, and I think that Abby is this universe's Elizabeth. So Elizabeth is jealous of Circus Baby, because she's like, my dad likes Circus Baby more than me because she's a creation. And if all of my theories are correct, that would then mean that Vanessa is the creation. So Abby in her real home life would be Elizabeth, who would be jealous. This is of course all depending on the illusion disc theory, and this one I think is the weakest of my theories, but I'm still not 100% sure about it. It's more an idea. But anyway, outside of the books, the other reasons that I think Abby could be Circus Baby, the main one of course being she's Mike's sister. In the games, Circus Baby is Mike's sister, Elizabeth. And then of course the theory that was around before the movie even came out, Abby is short for Elizabeth. It's a bit weird that they both have names from the family in the games. I don't know. But like I said, that is my weakest theory. Okay, those are my 5 theories at Freddys. I have one bonus, and I'm not going to go into detail about this one, I'm just going to say it, and that, because basically it's like speculation more than theory, and that is that I think Puppet is going to be the main antagonist of the next movie, and I think that Puppet is still going to be Charlie, and I think that the Puppet is going to remind Mike, and even possibly Abby, of their past. I also suspect that the Puppet might accidentally lead Abby to become Circus Baby. I think she will accidentally lead to her being scooped. But I don't know. That last theory and the puppet theory basically come from the tagline for the next film, which came out, like, the tagline came out yesterday, and it was like, it said something like, anyone can spend 5 nights at Freddys, but not everybody gets this, but there are no this time there are no second chances, or something like that, which I think means someone will die. And at first I was like, oh, well, Mike will get scooped, but then I was like, by who? There's no one to scoop him, because there's no Circus Baby. And for all of you guys saying that the baby doll in the film is Circus Baby, it isn't. That's Ella. That is Ella. I think it'd be a bit random. I think personally that Ella is just a reference, but who knows? Who knows? I do kind of wonder. This is a theory that I haven't put as much thought into, I guess, but I do kind of wonder whether Abby is going to be this version's puppet, and I wonder whether Abby will be Charlie. It is possible that Mike and Garrett are the real children of William Afton, and so is Vanessa, and they all grow up together. It's possible that that happens, and then Mike's mom is like, I need to leave, and Henry helps the family leave, and he's got his own kid, which would explain why William targets Charlie in this universe, or Abby. Another thing to think about with that one, I guess, would be that in the books there's basically Charlie is a twin, and her twin brother Sammy, she thinks he was killed by the serial killer who killed all the kids. And when she comes face to face with William Afton, there's this really chilling moment where she looks at him and she says, why did you take him? And William looks at her and goes, I didn't take him, I took you. And she's like, what the fuck does that mean? And it's like it's one of the only bits of the books that I was like, it gave me chills. So I wonder whether there might be a similar thing with Garrett and Abby, because Garrett and Abby kind of, they interchange in the story. Like in the flashback where the ghost kids are like, you can have Garrett back if we can have Abby, and Mike's like, no, I won't let that happen. A part of me does wonder whether they're gonna have this whole thing, this whole reveal that's like, but William Afton never took Garrett, he took Abby, and Abby is dead. I think that would be kind of cool. What do you guys think? Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of these theories. I think some of them are more outlandish than others, so I completely, if you disagree, I get it. But I really hope that despite this being just like a simple rambling about FNAF video, I hope that you enjoyed it. And now it has been a very long time and I need to leave. So I think it's time to say good night to you. Okay, so good night. Sleep well and have sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. I will see you really soon with another video. I have a long list of ideas, but if you have any that you would like to see, let me know